Love, love, until I feel the breath of the Spirit flowing in me.
Hello and welcome to Spirit of Life. I'm Mirella Rich. Today our guest is Father Colin Xavier, and he's a parish priest in Melbourne, and we're going to be discussing Our Lady Queen of Peace's message from Medjugorje on the 25th of November 2016. Welcome to the program, Father.
Thank you, Mirella.
And just before we start, you've been on a little pilgrimage, haven't you, to
Portugal,
Fatima?
Fatima.
Yeah.
Yes, I've been on an international priest retreat with the Alliance of the Two Hearts.
Oh, beautiful.
And it was at Fatima.
Ah, lovely.
We're about 90 plus priests, plus benefactors, more or less the equal number.
Yeah.
The lay people from all over the world.
Oh, beautiful.
It was a very beautiful and fruitful experience.
And before we start the program, would you like to give a blessing to our viewers? Because Our Lady in Medjugorje says when a priest blesses people, it's as if Jesus is blessing them himself.
Lovely, I will.
Okay.
And through the powerful intercession of Mary, our most beautiful mother, I plead a blessing upon all our viewers and all of us here in this place, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. So I'll start by reading Our Lady's message from Medjugorje on the 25th of November. Our Lady said, "Dear children, also today I am calling you to return to prayer. In this time of grace, God has permitted me to lead you towards holiness and a simple life, that in little things you discover God the Creator, that you fall in love with Him, and that your life be a thanksgiving to the Most High for everything He is giving you. Little children, in love, may your life be a gift for others, and God will bless you. But you witness without interest, out of love for God. I am with you and intercede before my Son for all of you. Thank you for having responded to my call." So I'll start with it sentence by sentence and then we can talk about it. Our Lady said, "Dear children, also today I am calling you to return to prayer." So obviously we aren't praying enough. She's telling us we've got to return to prayer. And when we find things are going wrong in our life, you know, it usually means we're not praying enough. She asks us to pray 3 hours a day. And when you sort of slacken off on that, things sort of start to get a bit, you know, above you, you know, over you. You know, it becomes too much sometimes.
Yes. Yes, Jesus came and He taught us to pray. But in our very troubled world, Mary has constantly been reminding us to pray. And she says it so beautifully well, once again, today as well, I'm calling you to return to prayer. We have forgotten what prayer is. We've forgotten to really fall on our knees or even sit quietly before the Eucharistic Lord. So Mary is a wonderful mother, a loving mother, and she's just repeating what is on her Son's heart, that we be people of prayer. And I think it is in prayer that we will realize that how small or little we are and how big God is, and that we depend on Him totally. And depending on Him, He will work the miracles, the wonders. He will reach out to us because we are precious to Him.
Yeah. There's a beautiful movie a friend told me in Queensland to see. Jeannie, she's a lovely friend. It's called War Room, and it's about this lady. Her husband went to war years ago. It's got nothing to do with war really, but then she makes a room in her house and calls it the War Room, where she brings the war of the world to God in prayer rather than fight with the people, with anyone, you know, argue with anyone. Bring it all to God, make a room, and then write all your Thanksgiving prayers, all the things that came true, all the prayers were answered, and then another list of all the prayers that aren't answered yet. And you just go in that little room. They use like a little closet in the room, so it's sort of not taking up the whole house. and just have that quiet room where you pray, and it's so powerful. It's such a beautiful movie.
Mother Teresa mentioned something to that effect. I mean, she says, you make yourself small, as small as you can, and place yourself in God's hands. You know, I think that's humility, that's becoming small and realizing I am a nobody.
Yeah.
He is my everything, and He makes me a somebody.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's what Mary wants us to do. The more we pray, the more humble we are, we realize everything rests in God's hands. And that's what Jesus wants us to do.
That's what I love even about that movie as well. It says, do all your praying, then get out of the way and watch what God does with what you asked Him to do.
Exactly.
It's just so beautifully done, really. Just reminds you to keep praying, as well as Mary says here. In this time of grace, God has permitted me to lead you towards holiness and a simple life. I love that. God's leading her, giving her this chance to lead us towards holiness and a simple life. And we just have to work out what is a simple life for us. Is it eating simply? We could just eat simply. We could just eat fresh fruit and vegetables. It's simple, you know? We don't have to complicate our lives. We could live simply, you know, talk simply with people rather than use huge words that people don't understand. Just speak simply and clearly to people so they understand you. There's so many basic things we can do.
The simple have this gift that people are able to see through you. You're just transparent. You don't have to put on a mask, you know, or to make people think that you are somebody rich, somebody important. You know, the truly important people, the truly big people are so simple and so humbly come to you to reach out to you and help you. You know, so I think it is, being simple that makes us rich in God's sight, makes us so lovable in God's sight.
Yeah, exactly. I find you very humble too. A very, very humble priest. You're one of my favourite priests. There's so many beautiful priests, but because you're so humble and you do so much, you know, for the church and for your parish and pray so deeply with them all, it's just such a wonderful witness. Yeah.
It's always struggling.
Thank you, Father. We're about to go to a break now. You're watching Spirit of Life. Stay with us. We'll be back with more very shortly. Hello and welcome back to Spirit of Life. I'm Mirella Rich. If you just joined us, we're here with Father Colin Xavier. He's a parish priest in Melbourne, and we're discussing Our Lady Queen of Peace's message from the 25th of November 2016. Our Lady Queen of Peace is still appearing today and has been since June the 24th, 1981 in a little village in Bosnia-Herzegovina called Medjugorje. Beautiful place, the most peaceful place on earth. Welcome back to the program, Father.
Thank you, Mirella.
I'll continue with Our Lady's message. Our Lady said that in little things you discover God the Creator, that you fall in love with Him. I think that's a beautiful line because she's saying in little things. You don't have to look for big, major miracles to happen to your life, in your life. Just see the little things that, you know, even in nature, just take a beautiful picture of the seaside and see that God's created that. Or just try and see Jesus in someone you're talking to and just see that Jesus comes out in that person. They're just the little things that we really see God in. Very true, very true.
As you just beautifully mentioned, you know, we don't have to do anything very big. It's a little caring love, an understanding word, a little forgiving here, welcoming somebody else. Now, very recently, quite a number of new people have been visiting the church, my parish in St. Mark's. And then one day they just said to me, "Oh, Father, thank you. My name is there. You welcomed me in the bulletin."
Oh, that's beautiful.
And thank you for that.
That's so
or
gorgeous.
when I just have the renewal of marriage vows, like I had yesterday, the first weekend of each month. And there was a time when I had about 20 people when I was out in Mansfield, it was the Easter time, and I had the renewal of marriage vows, and all visitors were there, and some of them were in tears. They said, "This never ever happened to me. All these years I've been married, to have this renewal of marriage vows." Just a simple little thing.
It's beautiful.
A little gesture of saying, "You're precious.
Yeah.
You're so important. We love you."
Yeah.
And Jesus always blesses little children because they are so beautiful.
Yeah.
And I think it's in little things, in simple ways, that we can let the light and the love of Jesus shine through us.
It's true.
And Mary wants us to shine.
Yeah.
Mary wants us to shine with the light of Jesus.
That's right. Recently, my daughter and I drove to Queensland, and on the way back, the priest in Cairns was saying to us, don't forget on Mondays the Assumption of Mary, it's a holiday of obligation. And we usually go to Mass every day anyway, but because we were driving all the way down from Cairns to Melbourne, we had to make sure the church had Mass. So we were ringing up the church. We rang the church in the morning. We said, "Have you got Mass today?" And he said, "Oh, no Mass today, no Mass today." And I thought, "Oh, okay." So I thought, we have to go to another Mass, I said, and then I said to him, the priest said it was a holiday of obligation. And he goes, no Mass today, it's my holiday, my day off. And I said, "Okay." So then I said, "Bye-bye," and then we hung up. And then 5 minutes later, he rang me back on that number, because he must have kept my number on the mobile. And he said, "I will do the Mass for you." He was from Africa. And he goes, "I will do the Mass for you. I will do the Mass for you." And I thought, "Oh, wow." I said, "Okay, thanks." And Nina and I thought we were going to be the only ones at Mass. But they still had a communion service. So we went in there and he did the Mass for us. And then he made a note during the Mass to say thank you to us, thank you to me for ringing him and reminding him there was, holiday of obligation. And after the Mass, we met this beautiful family, a lovely family, and who we're still friends with now. But it wouldn't have happened if we didn't do all those things, those little things.
Yes,
and that's Jeannie, the girl in Queensland, that's also praying for this show, that we reach the people that really need to receive God. And in their lives, So
and for the priest,
it's a big picture.
It would have been a beautiful experience for him, that somebody out of the blues phones up to ask if there's a Mass.
Yeah.
And to give Jesus to people.
He was so happy.
So
he was
important.
a beautiful priest.
Yeah,
And we ended up asking him about his story, his life, how he became a priest. And lovely, holy priest, really lovely one.
It's little things, Mother Teresa, little things. It was just a little caring love, reaching out to the poor, reaching out to the destitute. Because when we look at people with the eyes of Jesus, Jesus came to do little things for us. And the little things of saying you're loved, you're precious, that makes us treasure what he did for us. Of course, the great thing, the sacrifice of his own life, it's really great. But he just taught us, be my disciples, follow me in my little ways of showing love, that we care for each other.
Yeah, it's beautiful. That you fall in love with him too. I think that's a beautiful thing, because if we keep praying and seeing God in our lives, we will fall in love with him.
Definitely.
Because we'll see these little things happening along the way and think, "Oh, I love you, God," because I see you here and I see you there, I feel you in my life. I think it's very powerful. Our Lady also says, "And that your life be a thanksgiving to the Most High for everything he is giving you." So also to thank God, for the little things. Even I used to stay at this health farm in Cairns, and before every meal we would thank God for everything that happened up until that time of the day. Like literally from the morning till lunchtime. And then dinner time you'd say thank you for everything that happened from lunchtime to dinner time. And it was just a beautiful way to be.
Just driving along the road, things, or even if you're passing a desert, like I was talking to someone just the other day, you'll see, because my grotto, we have a little rose bush growing out through the stones. And somebody was saying, "Well, how does it grow? The roots must be somewhere else." And I'm not worried. I said, you go to the desert, you might find a tree, and it's still growing. The way the Lord looks at, takes care of things. But it's little things that help me to love Jesus, to fall in love with him. And because I love him so dearly, I want to share him with others. And the sharing is, again, reaching out to simple little ways, offering my life in thanksgiving for all that the Lord has done for me. And because I love him, Mary loved him so much that she said yes, loved her God so much, she said yes. And she went out to look after her cousin Elizabeth. And you and I are called to do the same. All of us as followers of Jesus. It's the little things, not the big.
That's beautiful. And the trip in Fatima, was it really beautiful to be there?
It was, because, well, I had been very privileged and very blessed. Arrived there on the Tuesday afternoon, had a quick shower, went over to the office and asked any chance of my celebrating Mass at the shrine of the apparition. And the lady was very good. First she said, no, it's all booked, Father. But then let me see. And then, so Tuesday afternoon arrived, Wednesday morning, she says to me, can you celebrate Mass at 5:30 in the morning at the shrine? I said, sure. Thursday, she wanted 9 o'clock, but my retreat had begun. Friday morning, 5:30. Saturday morning, 5 in the morning. I used to wake up at 3 o'clock every morning.
Oh, that's so beautiful. We have to go to a break now, but that is such a beautiful story. You're watching Spirit of Life. Stay with us. We'll be back with more very shortly. Hello and welcome back to Spirit of Life. I'm Mirella Rich. If you've just joined us, we're here with Father Colin Xavier and we're discussing Our Lady Queen of Peace's message to the world on November the 25th, 2016. So it's to everyone in the world to see what they can do individually. Welcome back to the program, Father.
Thank you, Mirella.
And so I'll finish with the last part of the message. Our Lady said, little children, in love, may your life be a gift for others, and God will bless you, but you witness without interest, out of love for God. I love that because she's saying make your life a gift for others, like make your life a loving gift for others, and God will bless you. But don't just do it because you know God's going to bless you, which He will do, so you should do it as well because God will bless you. But do it also out of love for God, like love your neighbour, do acts of love, of mercy, things for others, out of love for God, and He will bless you. So if you're in a mess in your life, and you're doing terrible things, all you have to do is love and get out of it,
Yes.
Do it for God.
Every mother
Yeah.
does that for a child,
Yeah.
or children who may be on drugs or whatever it may be. A mother's heart is always beating for her children,
Yeah.
A father can go after his son who has gone astray. And so we don't do it for anything else, but because of the love we have for our children. And that's what Jesus wants us to do, what Our Lady wants us to do. She says, just reach out in love, and
Yeah.
God will bless you. I think that blessing is so powerful.
Yeah.
We don't do it because for this particular gain.
Yeah.
We do it, Jesus did it for me.
Yeah.
His love flows through me.
Yeah.
And Mary loves me like a real mother, and I just go out to do it. It's simple, little, lovely things that can make people once again feel they are loved.
Yeah.
And they in turn bless us.
Yeah.
And
we can reach, and everyone has a part. Everyone in the world, the message is for everyone in the world, not just Catholics, not just a few people. It's for everyone in the world to live this way. And each person can understand in their own heart what they're meant to be doing. Maybe someone's called to help the poor. Maybe someone's called to get out of a very negative lifestyle and help the others that are in that lifestyle get out of that lifestyle.
Yes.
And maybe those who are
Yes.
hating will decide now it's time to start loving. There's a message in this for everybody.
Yes. Like that gentleman who didn't know me, he just came for Mass one day, and at the end of Mass asked me if I could lend him a Bible. A lovely man, you could see there was some searching going on. He wanted to go out, and he was planning to leave Australia for the first time in 50 or 60 years to visit the Vatican, I think even Lourdes, and Germany, where many of the people were killed in the gas chambers. And he asked me, he says, I don't know how to pray, but I just want to take this book,
Wow,
the
isn't that
Bible, and go
beautiful?
there. And he did, prayed in his own beautiful way,
Yeah.
came back to thank me and to say, thank you for lending me the Bible.
Isn't that beautiful? So he wanted to make a difference.
He wanted to make a difference, and you
could.
could see that love, that
Yeah.
care that he wanted to share wherever he went.
Yeah.
God bless him. And there are beautiful people out
So
there
lovely, yeah.
who in their own beautiful ways listen to Mary's message,
Yeah.
you know, and want to make a difference
That's
in
right.
this very difficult world.
There are beautiful people. Maybe they're not even Christians. Maybe they're not even Catholics, but they're doing acts of love for others. You know,
Yes.
everyone's called to love in their own
Yes.
way.
Yes.
It's just such a beautiful thing. Anyone can do it. You know,
Yes,
you don't have to
yes.
be anyone special. You don't have to be. Everyone is special, but you don't have to be like, I don't know, a politician, or you know, you don't have to be.
no.
I don't know. Anybody can. It's for everybody to love. Every single one on earth.
I do meet people as a priest, you know, from different backgrounds, different religions, or no religion, and yet they do share, they do tell me how empty they feel at times.
Yeah.
You know, there are many people who come. Just recently, there was this young Hindu girl who came late in the night, said, "How can we talk to you?" And every time she sees the church open, you see a number of people going into my church,
Yeah.
spending some time before the Lord. They know
Beautiful.
there's something special about Jesus.
Yeah.
And I think Mary brings them as a mother to sit before her son, to be able to receive that love and share it again.
Yeah.
They're not big people, not rich people,
Yeah.
not, you know, just the ordinary folk.
It's beautiful. And it's beautiful also when people haven't been to church for a long time and then they just come in. I remember once I saw this lady, I'd never seen her there before, and then she came in and into the church and she was crying during the Mass. And I ended up crying for her as well because I saw it. I thought, gee, she must have had so much on her heart, you know.
Yes.
And I thought you share with other people's pain. You see them sad, so you feel sad for them. And then I ended up meeting her by chance afterwards, after the Mass,
Yes.
you know, somewhere. Close to where we live, and it was just interesting. And she was really
Beautiful.
grateful because I said I was praying for her when I saw that she was crying in the church.
Just being
Yeah,
there for
yeah.
them, you know, gives them so much comfort and,
Yeah.
and strength. And they know there's someone who does care,
Yeah,
you know.
that's the point, exactly. Our Lady says, I am with you and intercede before my Son for all of you. Thank you for having responded to my call. For all of you, she's responding, she's with us, all of us, you know.
I think this message that Mariana receives, you know, and she passes it on.
Yeah, on the
and
second, she
there
receives the
are
second of the
people
month.
there are beautiful people out there who just want to make this world a holy place,
Yeah.
a beautiful place to live in, a safe place to live in.
Yeah.
And they do hearken to Mary's message.
Yeah.
And I think to all our viewers as well, just run to this mother, and she will always gather you under her mantle. She will protect you, and her love will flow into you and you in turn will reach out in love to
Yeah.
others.
I've got a friend who even with her family, sometimes they're in the car and they sprinkle holy water down King Street in Melbourne.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, to bless the street and, you know,
Yes,
if the shady
yes.
stuff's going on, to bless those places. And she said since they've been doing it, a lot of the shady stuff has sort of started to clean up a bit.
There are
So
who
people
come
are
to
doing
me,
things
yes.
in their own way. They've just got
But,
initiative themselves.
They do come to me, like my healing mass, when I had salt and water, oil
Yeah.
and water. People do come, and then we do tell them, sprinkle a little salt wherever you find things are not well.
Yeah, that's
God bless
beautiful.
us. God
We have
bless
to
us.
finish the show now. Thank you so much for coming on. Will you come again next week?
I will. Thank you, Marilla.
That's
and
beautiful.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you. You've been watching Spirit of Life. Our guest was Father Colin Xavier. Hope to see you again next week.